Attention. Stand by for Tiberium Dangers Update. Tiberium is named after the Tiber River in Italy where it was first discovered. There are now more than 200 areas of the Earth affected by Tiberium deposits. Tiberium appears to be spreading by means of conveyance unknown.
Dr. Mobius, tell our viewers just what Tiberium really is.
Molecularly, it's a non-carbon-based element that appears to have strong ferrous qualities with non-resonating reversible energy that has a tendency to disrupt carbon-based molecular structures with inconsequent and unequal positrons orbiting on the first, second, and ninth quark rings.
Whoa, is that good or bad?
Ooh, let me put it this way, Eddie. The possibilities of Tiberium are limitless.
Well, now let me ask you, by limitless, you say that...
We now know that not only does Tiberium leach elements from the soil, but it appears to also leach vital nutrients from all plant life. Human contact with Tiberium is extremely toxic and often fatal. Exposure should be avoided.
YouTube's what's up? Here we are back in part. I can't remember what part honestly it is, but probably shouldn't be chewing gum right now. I'm chewing gum. Here we are in the 10th mission, the GDI campaign. We're taking the Slovenia route, option 10A, as you could call it. It's a pretty easy mission. Second time that you're able to use the sandbag barrier maneuver. So basically connecting sandbags all the way down to your opponent's base through whatever means possible. You can take two different routes to get there, but I will show you right off the bat one of the first things you need to do, which is cut off one of the bottleneck points that one is the main path that NOD uses in order to get to you. That is just to the south of your base. You'll see right here, so you can just start plopping them down from your power plant. You can see there's a turret there, but turrets will not shoot at your sandbags either, as the rest of the units. So just connect that down there, cut off that little opening. You're going to have to go right away or else they'll be able to send some infantry units in and sneak by. They also right away like to send some artillery units. They'll send some artillery units your way. There's a little ledge on the left side of the base that they can launch it from, so you got to watch out for that as well. Shut up, Eva. So cut this off. Oh crap. Alright, looks like a couple flamethrowers got in. Keep them away from your infantry units if you can. Armored vehicles are not the best against them, but we'll be okay. Alright, took them out. But they're just idiots. There's another path just to the east over here that you can block off as well, and that we will block off as well. They don't utilize it nearly as much. They tend to utilize that opening right there. So once you cut that off, you can kind of just chill. The only things you're going to really have to worry about is that harvester right there can run into situations that are an issue with the NOD turrets. They'll start hitting your harvesters if you don't, take them out. If you don't put that refinery down there either, that will start getting hit. So make sure you get. I like to use 3 Orcas. You could even make 4 or 5 rocket launchers. And speak of the devil, there's that artillery unit. Take him out. You could even make 3 to 4 rocket soldiers and take out a couple of the turrets, but 3 Orcas does the trick. You send 3 Orcas in, it'll take out the turret for you. If you send any fewer than that, it will not take out the turret, it'll allow it to repair. So Once you get a couple helipads up, you'll be set. There's like 9 turrets that you can take out around this map. NOD really likes to utilize the bluffs in the European landscapes that are in this game to its advantage in order to snipe some of your armored units. I mean, looking at the type of attack that a turret provides, it's kind of counterintuitive to think that, oh, NOD would be the one with the anti-armor or the more ballistic-oriented defense, just considering they're a very light faction, more closely related to the Allies, I suppose you could say, less related to the Soviets. GDI, on the other hand, very armored-oriented, heavy units, mammoth tanks, and so on. So you just think, but, you know, it's part of the balance. You're going to have more armor units, so now it's going to have the turrets. You're going to have more infantry units, theoretically, to deal with, or lighter units. You're going to have the guard tower. You got to look at it from the idea of the creator's perspective. It's not just about doing sometimes what's rational, but doing what's going to make the game balanced, and that's what makes RTS games that are successful so successful. But once you get that initial Tiberian patch kind of out of the way, it's kind of going to give you a little boost. Stupid harvesters not doing jack. There's another one to the east that will get rebooted. There is a Tiberium vein there, or whatever they call them, Tiberium plant, Tiberium tree, not a vein, this is not sun, that you can utilize, so you go in there and utilize that, get your funds going, and that's not going to work to Orcas. I don't know what I'm trying to do. See, they're just going to chill there, and they'll be like, what is this sandbag doing here? I cannot move. Kane is an idiot, is what he is. Kane can build nuclear missiles, can kill his own men and Seth, can take over the world, but he can't figure out the sandbag trick. It's mystifying, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Destroy you. Send your other Orcas in, destroy those turrets to the right as well.
Yes, sir.
Harvesters are doing work like madmen. I get about 2 of them, and let's see, get some of these freaking units out of here. Start defending that side. You'll see a couple units will start streaming through that black shroud to the east a little bit. There's another little opening right here to this, just to the south. Use a little plateau. I'll show it to you in a little bit. Really the only need for a weapons factory in this scenario is just to explore. Because especially, you're going to be using an Orca and Engineer Bum Rush. Soon to be found is my favorite combo. Strictly to explore, so not really any need to be making medium tanks or other things. So even once you get enough Humvees, you could even sell your weapons factory, and it wouldn't make too much of a difference. The only issue, relying on Orcas and just air units in this game, is that the Orca cannot explore or reveal Shroud until it's explored by your land units, which is very weird. Obviously, if you remember from Brotherhood 2, that's not the case. Harriers are one of your greatest explorers. Could be just thrown out there as a scout. And even Nighthawks, they don't appear on enemy radar, so hey, there's cool little tidbits there. And reasons to utilize them in the scouting game, but Orca is not the same, so you're going to have to do that on ground. We're going to build up our defenses, our barriers, and then send in the Humvee. So just get these guys staggered going. You see they've got some buggies coming in. There's just the rest of that plateau is some not turrets, but you're going to want to watch out for those turrets and make sure getting those Orcas up is your first priority, because that's going to open up the pathways for your harvesters. You don't want to have to be worrying about getting your unit gathering forces attacked. Finally get that sucker out of the base so I can start harvesting and not have him wasted. Darn idle villager button. Why isn't there an iron, jeez, an idle harvester or miner option as well? Wouldn't that be nice? Slave miner. It's a slave and a miner. Yuri, you're sick man. Sick man, Yuri. So just close that off. Reason I'm saving is because you play here in a game that's made in 1985. There's some glitches if you're trying to play it on a new computer, and in my case, it's definitely the case. Definitely some glitches you got to worry about, and one of them is if you're on the northern side of the map, clicking on the northern side and accidentally clicking a unit or just deciding to build something there, or double clicking a unit to go way in the north, it causes my game just to freeze and to end and to just stop working. This is ridiculous. So I'm going to be saving quite a bit, especially because the computer likes to pit you in corners or sides of the map. You don't really get in the middle of the map to start very often. It's kind of a rarity. So I'll be doing that, and the reason this one's only about 15 minutes is I just bought Camtasia 8 screen recording and editing software for $317. So it's going to really provide some new things I can do in videos, but figuring out how big I can make the file sizes without taking forever to render and then upload and so on and so forth. So that's the reason there. This will be a two-parter. Should be able to finish this mission in the next part. Be taking out the rest of the NOD base, and the rest of this campaign really isn't too difficult. Mission 12 is pretty fun. You get to help Mobius and rescue him, but it doesn't involve the sandbag barrier, which is kind of refreshing because I kind of get sick of it personally. So I say make war with the Orcas on the NODs, and you're gonna win. Sandbag traveling to strangle their base is another option. You can suffocate their economy by doing so as well. You can have those sandbags travel all the way down to the base if you'd like to, and utilize that strategy and cut them off completely, which is another one that you can do. There's another option. The other one's in Romania, but that's freaking easy too. That's not really difficult either. And then the 11th mission is one of the more difficult ones. One of the more difficult ones in the game. That you have to be kind of a fast responder at the beginning, and you're going to need a decent amount of money to create another Orca assault. So if you can help it, make sure to be kind of frugal in certain times, and at the end try to capture as many Tiberium silos as possible. Try to get those funds up before you move on, because yes, again, funds carry over in the Tiberian Dawn game. So here's a little plateau. There's a couple more NOD turrets. You're going to need to take out every unit and every structure eventually, so you're going to have to take them out, but really not too pressing right now, considering your strike force is going to consist of darn artilleries, consist of APCs, engineers, and Orcas. So just keep scouting the map. Bada bing, bada boom. And NOD artillery was freaking fast there. It's always weird conceptually. I guess every faction is going to need some form of artillery, but in this game, an artillery unit, that was a massive hit. It can provide some damage. I'm assuming in multiplayer that was kind of a devil for some people. They would just send in a number of artillery units and just plow through other bases. Take them out. Good. But it just doesn't mesh with the NOD persona as much as you would expect. I mean, it goes back to this, what I was talking about with the guard tower and the turret. But you see Red Alert 1, the Allies having that artillery, and they're definitely a more lighter faction. But then again, Soviets are the Soviets, and they're made on iron, and the Iron Curtain, and nuclear missiles, and giant tanks, and V2 rocket launchers. So I guess the Allies do need a little bit of something. So I'm just going to keep exploring down here. I'm going to go hit up this little village that's over here in the left corner. Shoot some foes, shoot some churches and homes. And we're looking pretty good right now. It's just about getting those Orcas built up and going in for the kill. Base is not too big, but they do have an obelisk of NOD that makes it a little difficult for your APCs. And just about ready to call this one a vid. Thanks for sticking with me in part 1. I'll finish this one up in part 2. See you guys then.
Unit lost.